Welcome back to the Whole Home. I am Kezia and today we're gonna do something new. Actually, I have done this once before about 8 years ago and failed. Never tried again, so today is the day we're gonna try to brew some kombucha. About a month ago, we shot some photos with our friends at Holos Kombucha, who brew pretty close to us on the Sussex Downs, and they also have this brew kit. When we were done shooting, they said, if you ever need anything, so I said, I think you have a brew kit, and I would love to try again to not fail at brewing our own kombucha. In theory, this box has everything we need, and we're gonna give it a whirl. Okay, let's start by seeing what is in this box. All right. Those are my hands. We've got that little leaflet. You'll see this logo here supporting survivors. They started Holos to provide employment opportunities for survivors of trauma and exploitation. So that is the vision behind the company. Okay, all paper packaging, always a win. Okay, what else is in here? We've got this big thing. I'm guessing is gonna be the jar that we'll brew it in. Big jar for a lot of kombucha. Then we've got a guide, which is hopefully going to tell us how to not screw it up. Okay. Then in here, in a little Holos tote, we have a few things. Sugar. Kombucha is a yeast bacteria combo that is going to ferment just like a sweet tea. So we've got sugar and their signature tea blend. And then a muslin for the top and a thermometer. I screwed up the last one because I was brewing in the heat of the California summer and I popped it in our garage, which, way off that scale, killed the living part of the kombucha, so this is gonna stop us doing that. Also being in England in the autumn is gonna help that, but there's our little thermometer. Okay, what else? So none of that is living. Kombucha needs a SCOBY. That's like the sourdough starter part of the kombucha. And I have never seen a SCOBY like this. Normally it's this gelatinous disc, but this is just liquid SCOBY. So we'll see how this works. But liquid SCOBY, and this is in theory, with some filtered water and heat and time, all we're gonna need. All right, I'm gonna get rid of the box and have a go at actually brewing this. So the first step is to clean everything. So I've done that, my sieve is drying. It does tell us we'll need a few other things that are not pictured. I think just a sieve and filtered water. So here we go. Then it says to stick the thermometer on the side of the jar. So we're gonna do that. They say it wants to sit between 20 and 23 degrees. So in reality, because it's getting pretty chilly here, this is mostly about making sure it's warm enough and actually brews. Now we have a nice jar. It's gonna tell us the temperature of our kombucha. It says to do the next part in a measuring jug, but I don't have a measuring jug. So we're gonna weigh out our cold water and our warm water. 201, that'll do. Oh, it's not enough. We gotta boil more. Okay, we're boiling more water. I didn't quite boil enough. And then after we do that, we're gonna put in the tea and the sugar and brew it for half an hour. Well done, me. And this is why you should fully read through the instructions before you try to squeeze something into quiet time with the school run looming, because I realized it probably wasn't going to cool enough to add the SCOBY before I had to leave. No, don't do that. Hi, duckies. All right. 800 of hot, 200 of cold. And now we're going to add in our sugar and our tea and let it brew. Essentially, we're just making a giant jar of sweet tea, aren't we? And then we're going to add the living SCOBY part. It's going to eat the sugar and turn it into the yummy fermented drink that we love. Following the instructions makes it feel more complicated, but I'm sure that in time it will just become a second nature routine that we know well and we don't really think about. Got sugar everywhere. And then we're going to put in the tea to brew. This is kind of blue, bits of green. Doesn't smell like anything in particular, but we're going to pop that in as well. And now we're going to let that sit for 30 minutes. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. Our tea is now just warm at the top. We're going to strain off all the beautiful tea into this thing and then add the magic. Okay, let's do this. If I had properly read the instructions, this jar would already have 1800 mils of cold water in it, which I'm about to realise. Now I'm feeling like I added the wrong amount because it's only part way up the jar and that is not what it shows in the instructions. While I read back through the instructions to try and figure out why my jar does not look like the one in the instructions, I should make the disclaimer that these instructions are incredibly simple. If I had not raced to do this in nap time and actually read them, we would have been just fine, but welcome to my brain. It doesn't look like the picture because I did it wrong, which won't make any difference. We just need 1800 mils of cold filtered water in there as well. So let's do that. The final 600. That looks more like it. Look at that, we did it. Now it's looking like the instructions. Okay, now we're going to put in our magic liquid SCOBY. Oh. It smells like vinegar, but kombucha vinegar, like slightly sweet, fruity vinegar, but wow. Okay, in that goes. Ooh. Ooh. It's, yeah, you can see it's got the SCOBY in it. That jellyfish-like thing is the SCOBY. If you've ever bought apple cider vinegar with the mother in it, it's kind of the same thing. Okay. Here we go. We've got to cover it up. We're at 25 degrees. It says you want it between 20 and 23. So we're going to put it somewhere, maybe in an airing cupboard. We're going to cover it up. We don't want any extra bacteria or anything to go in there, I think is the idea. So we'll cover it up. Okay, make us some kombucha. Little jar. Okay, we're going to go put it somewhere. And in theory, we're going to get some kombucha. So stay tuned. I will keep you posted through the process. We will pull it out and have a look at what is going on after a few days. And hopefully in a week or so, we'll have some kombucha. According to the how-to book, it says, your kombucha will be ready to drink depending on how you like it. I prefer mine more vinegary, but so that's going to be longer. It's got to eat more of the sugar, I'm guessing. 5 to 7 days for a milder kick, 7 to 14 days for something more punchy. Okay, it's going up here. This room stays relatively warm between cooking and the sun coming through the windows. Okay, I'm going to taste this. Yeah. Look. If you want to see what happens, hit subscribe and I will keep you posted to see what happens when we get that jar down in a week or so and give it a taste and see if it tastes like that or something better. And I will link the brew kit below. I think they have it on Amazon. Most of the time I am not an Amazon advocate, but sometimes for small businesses, it is one of the most effective ways for them to actually get their stuff out there. So I will link their booch and also the brew kit if you want to have a go yourself or give it be a great gift as well. So I'll link that below and I will see you back when we pull that jar out of the cupboard.